direction. Just look around and find at least something good. All you need will come to you. I'll never refuse you.
Welcome back to Two Canadians at Kafe Lise, Vigor podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Anton, and with me is the other host, DJ Spencer.
Hello.
Hello. This is episode 79, and we are getting to do another partner interview. It's been a little while since we've done one of these, and it's always nice to get a partner on that we haven't had before and talk to them and learn about them. So it's going to be fun. Before we go too far, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let us if you have any questions that we can pass on later on. Do so, and we will do our best to do that as well. But before we get, must just get right into it here. We're talking to Mr. Honourable Bandits.
Hello there.
Hey, hello. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a camera going right now. He's moving, so he doesn't have everything set up, but he was able to join us with audio, and we appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just in the process of moving house, so camera's not set up yet, but glad to be here. It's been a while. Feels like an honor to be invited to a podcast like this. It's been watching it from afar, thinking one day maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I've always appreciated the shadows and stuff being in your stream, and the one thing too, you probably remember this, Smokey, but the way back, maybe like 6 months ago, maybe a bit longer, on Twitter, Pestily had posted a tweet about joining some podcasts and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, I do a Vigor podcast with like Doc Anton, and like you were like all for it. You're like tagging the devs and stuff like that in the official like Vigor account, like we need to make this happen.
Well, I see good things. I need to promote it.
Yeah, it was like so good.
It
didn't happen, but it
would
have been awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm sure we can put a little bit of pressure at some right places.
Yeah,
you never know.
Maybe we'll look for another opportunity for it to happen again.
Yeah,
definitely have Pestily on. Who knows, if Vigor ever goes to PC, maybe we could entice him to try it. And
there's so many people.
Yes, there may be a few. I would recommend Septic Falcon as a one to talk about.
Yep,
because they are very interested in getting back into the game, and they are still a campaign partner.
Yep.
So
I'm not even familiar with that name, Septic Falcon.
Yeah, they do a lot of did a lot of DayZ and Armor stuff. They're actually making their own game at the moment. They've set their own studio up.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
They've also recently joined the Hunt Creator program as well, because they do play some Hunt Showdown. I think they actually multi-stream now on Twitch and YouTube. So
okay.
Yeah.
I know they're primarily PC, but
right.
Yeah. And they do
I'm
have
just thinking back to the original bags and stuff. Like,
they have
all the different, and I don't remember that one at all. Maybe I didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
He's actually a bone of contention for me. The anniversary outfits.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they published an anniversary outfit, and I've got no problem with people that are on it. It's just I feel a little bit left out, but that's a personal thing. But yeah, Septic Falcon's on that jacket.
Yeah.
Okay.
With T Martin for some reason, but
it was unfortunate.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Hopefully, the next anniversary jacket you're including.
Yeah, they've said there's lots of stuff to be done, and shout out there's some great guys from the past, so it's good to see some of them represented.
So what we do like to do when we get a partner on is get them to, do a little introduction to themselves. And one of the things too, and in case people who are reviewing this don't know, like on Twitch, you with Honourable Bandits, but you still also go by your original, I think it's your original streaming name, Smokey Dopey. So if you talk about that a little bit too, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. The name Smokey Dopey 81 goes all the way back to the original Operation Flashpoint, which was Bohemia's first game. 1998.
Okay.
I made that gamer tag, just like as something, and it was a kind of just a joke throwaway gamer tag. And then when we were starting the streaming, I felt like it promotes a sort of image that I don't really want to do in streaming. And the Honourable Bandits was like the community, like the clan that we were in from Battlefield. And it was more of a, we are all Honourable Bandits. It's not me. It was going to be 4 or 5 of us streaming and everybody else dropped off. So I ended up being the Honourable Bandits. So it's a kind of, but it works really well for like the whole inclusivity of everyone can be part of it. It's not just me.
Yep.
And yeah, I like that.
Okay.
It can be a
Nice.
bit confusing.
Yep.
No, and it's again, it's nice to get that context because I'm sure people who maybe are in your stream regularly, probably heard the story quite often, but and I always try to myself uh, lurk in streams whenever I can, if I'm at work or whatever. But I don't always get to listen to everything because busy with work and it's hard. Can't always split your focus,
Yeah.
right? It's nice
Yeah,
to get these
I mean,
stories. Yeah.
it's something that I did have. I think there might even still be a Twitch channel called the Smokey Dopey Show when I first started, when the Division 1 came out, and streamed a little bit, and that was just because people I was playing with streamed, and when they stopped, I'd take over, and then gave up with that and did a little bit of YouTube creating videos, like basically putting music montages to Battlefield. That's basically what I was doing, just learning what I could do on the Xbox. And then Mixer came along, and I said, "Oh, yeah, I'll try that again." Very successful on Mixer, and then it all went, down the pan.
Yeah.
And so we had to start again on Twitch. Very nearly that would have, if I would have given up, that would have been the moment. I think.
Yeah.
Very close.
That was very unexpected.
Yeah.
Mixer
I was a Mixer partner, so I was accepted in on the start of the month, and then there was the first partner briefing where you have like a call with a representative from Mixer, and I just didn't say anything, just sat in the room like being quiet sort of thing, like, well, I'm just happy to be here. And it was very heated, and then a week later it was announced that it's shutting down. And
oh wow.
oh great. It was when they sold it to Facebook, or they sold something to Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook offered, it was like $3,000 a month if I streamed for 30 hours a month, 30 hours a week on the new Facebook platform. So it was full-time streaming that I was doing, and silly money, really. But it's the idea of going to Facebook was just like what's that got to do with gaming?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the community was on Twitch. I was only ever going to stream for Vigor. It wasn't going to be based around anything else. So go with the community, and because how amazing they are, everyone reaches out and everyone supports each other, and yeah, it just kept the spirit going for me. I was so close to just quite a few just giving up.
Because there were quite a few Vigor partners on Mixer that stopped streaming altogether after that. Like I know the devs kind of gave everyone kind of like some time to like decide what the future was. And there was, some that took their time and then they came across to Twitch, and then some just kind of decided, you know what, I don't want to rebuild, because like it takes a long time to like build a new community type thing.
It was insane.
Yeah,
I mean, I went from 4,800 followers, 3,000 subscribers to starting again. And I mean, I was very lucky on Mixer, and it was a full-time income. I was able to focus on it as a full-time job, and then to start again was like, okay, reevaluate life. But then COVID came along, and it sort of pushed, you're there, so carry on doing that, and it sort of it worked. I got quite lucky; it worked for me quite well.
Yeah.
But
you're back to like over 2,000 followers, but again, it's not quite the same, right? Because you had over 4K.
Yeah. I think the exclusivity of Mixer being on Xbox, the way that it promoted the new games was unlike anything. And obviously they wasted all their money, and that's why they went out of business. And We kind of see Twitch look like they're going down that route at the moment. With the CEO came out saying they're non-profitable. They've just terminated 500 people, and
But I will say, like, they still have like a big staff. Like, I think the last numbers I saw was like still 600 people working.
oh yeah,
But
they
yeah,
could
yeah,
probably.
it was still like a big chunk of employees losing their jobs, which,
Yeah.
you know, it's not a good thing, and especially if they're not profitable. I
It's
think.
really a shame because it's difficult because you don't ever want people to lose their jobs.
Exactly.
But if you've got a corporation like that that's trying to grow under the pandemic rules when everybody's at home in this different world now,
Yep.
you don't need as many people. You don't need to pay streamers as much money. It can't. What's XQC was like 100 million or something. It's like what world is this that we're living in?
Well, him, it's not just straight cash either. It was like stocks or whatever it is.
Yeah, and they've
stake or whatever it is, and
the money is
yeah,
it's not sustainable.
no,
I think
it's
most
not.
reasonable people can look at streaming as that and say, yeah, get what you can out of it, but don't ever rely on it as something that's going to last for a long time.
Yep.
You need to be aware of that.
Yeah, and have like it's one of those things where you kind of have to have multiple revenue streams, right? Like you try to branch out and bring in wherever some extra wherever you can. And if you're just stuck in the one thing, then you can't adapt as much, right? And you and the smallest little hiccup just totally wrecks you, right?
I think a lot of bigger creators fall into that problem as well. I mean, and it's affected me personally. Like, it's very passionate, but it is a small community, and like the changes in the game and how the community feel about the game affects viewers. I mean, I know we're never going to get to everyone's at home under the pandemic. You got 500 people watching Vigor, but how we've seen the numbers fluctuate over the last 5 years to what we're at now is it's kind of worrying as a creator. You go on and you think, well, there's only so many people that are going to watch Vigor. I think that in the next year we're going to see quite a lot of promotion once we get the reworks done. I think they got some sponsorships lined up. There's some bigger creators like Jack Frags and your Septic Falcon and Level Cap that have already shown a positive interest in the game, and if they were to do so again, would bring eyes back. And I'm very hopeful for the future.
Yeah. They definitely need to do something, that's for sure. And because the little ebbs and flows of the a season comes out, the viewership goes up a little bit, but it does quickly level off again. So they do need something to really get a good boost and get people
it's the keeping
eyes
the
on
players
the game
coming
again,
back,
right?
isn't it?
Yeah.
I know that they've gone down this route of like XP events or like weekend events, things like that, and that obviously works. People will log in and play for those, but it's getting the players that have done everything, so to speak, back. The challenges are great, but they're very difficult, and the rewards are questionable, in my opinion.
Yeah. Especially this season, it's I don't know. I probably had at least 4 to 5 people who say I'm not doing the seasonals because I don't care for them. Like,
it's a gold helmet, right, this year?
Yeah.
This yeah. I didn't bother.
Like to me, like I've said it before on the podcast, is it needs to be like a full cosmetic outfit that's unique, that is not a variant, to make it worthwhile. And then maybe like some other, cosmetics where it's like an accessory, but like it has to be unique to make people want to like do it, because like you said, they're not easy. Like, it's a grind. Like, I just finished a 99 kill challenge, and it's like I consider myself a casual player because I don't play for hours on end every day.
Yeah.
So it's like, make it worth the while.
The concept of the 99 kill thing makes my skin boil.
Oh yeah.
I hate it's because I bet it was with a certain gun, right?
Yeah, it's always with a certain gun, right? Yeah.
If it was not getting 99 kills, not much.
Yeah,
of a problem. If it's
99 there are those ones
with a gun
too.
that you haven't got an armor plate planned for, or 99 kills for a gun that takes 12 hours to craft. and I delete all
Exactly.
my weapons every season, so I don't have 10,000 of everything.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
recommend
And
that
it's
as gameplay, by the
always
way, everybody.
Yeah.
Delete your
one of these days I'll
weapons.
make it to that point. Yeah.
Just make an alternate account. If you've got
That's
lots
true.
of stuff and you're worried about progression, make an alternate account. It won't be as
Oh.
much fun because you still have to grind for healing items.
Yeah.
But
But
we all
Doc
got
plays
addicted
on
to
three.
Vigor.
Yeah, Doc has
I-
has 3 platforms to play, so for him it's like
Oh,
almost like
oh yeah.
Yeah, I can
Almost like that.
I'll do it on that platform. Yeah, one of my platforms I'll
Yeah,
try doing
my
it.
PlayStation is my hardcore account.
Yeah, for sure.
Although now
Yeah,
you can just buy the plans. So
they've kind of done that, which is true. But even then, they're not cheap. So it's like I'd rather hold on to my crowns and save them up
Yeah.
to get for the battle pass with because like it's gotten to the point where I never have the time to put into it to get like a full to grind a full 50 levels, right? So now I'm grinding 25 levels. I'm buying the battle pass with the
Yeah.
extra 25 levels, and then I'm done that season,
that's my
right?
strategy. Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
strategy. Yeah, and to be fair, I'll skip quite a lot of the PlayStation season because I find it so hard. I'm playing on this Xbox Series, and then to go to a PS4, it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, what have I got? Yeah. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
25 level skips is great. I hate that it has to exist, but it has to. I'm really anti a lot of the paid elements in this game,
Mhm.
Mm.
and I'll be as loud as I can about it. But a lot of people seem to like these new elements that are added in, and sometimes I feel a little bit at odds with the community because we shouldn't, in my opinion, be encouraging any more time skips, level skips, ways to pay for convenience, like XP boosters, tickets, pay to win stuff. I hate it,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I see more of it creeping in, and so I push back about that as much, and I get stick from the community because oh no, we want this thing, we want double XP boosters, and yeah.
Like I get they need to like generate revenue, but I do agree like to a certain extent. Like some of it I don't think it should be in the game, but I like the bulk ticket purchases for like the resources and like the crate boosters and the insurance, but like some of the other stuff I'm not sure I'm a big fan
Well,
of.
look, these booster tickets, it's like they're much lauded at the minute because there's a new thing, and I'm looking at them in the game now, and like it's like 6 lobby tickets are better rewards,
Yep.
and then double XP, better resources and parts. I mean, it's all great, but if you've got something which gives you more better resources in the game, like a redeeming, I pay money, I can get better resources, it incentivizes the developers to make it harder to get resources. So I'm incentivized to pay money. And that's what I don't like. It's the artificial difficulty and time that's added by adding time savers and XP boosters and
Right.
all of that stuff. Originally, the game wasn't like that. It was you could get everything just from playing, and
Yeah.
you would get everything, and it would take you a long time, but you would get it all. And
Yeah.
you can't say that now. Like, as if a new player comes to me and says, "I'm really struggling in Vigor. What should I do?" Well, I should be saying play some shootout and learn about crouch shooting and recoil control. But
Yep.
the best advice is to get your wallet out and to buy a starter pack with armor and crowns and use the crowns for insurance and use the armor plates and play a couple of games and you'll get good loot. And this,
Well,
I hate that. That's what I have to say.
well, I would say just grind some limbs to like get all the crates because the
Yeah.
rewards
Yeah.
are like easy.
Yeah, play. That's what. It's great that those modes are there for that reason. Like we've all had the days when we can't get a barn door and we get one shot and we've
Yeah.
died in 5 encounters in a row. Go and play some shootout or some eliminations and get some rewards back.
Change things up a little bit. Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess when did you find out about Vigor? And what made you want to play it? Because you did say that you played Battlefield before, and you played Flashpoint, I think it was, which was a
Yes.
Bohemia game.
Yeah, Operation Flashpoint was I used to play Unreal Tournament in the computer rooms at school. The
Good
early
old
days of
Unreal
the
Tournament. Yeah.
internet. Yeah, back in the day, that was my jam. And then Operation Flashpoint, which is Armor 1. They changed name because of copyright. That came out, and that was like a military simulator. I was like, okay, I like this. Like Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, but more serious, more grown up. And followed that series for a while, mostly obviously PC. And then Armor 2 came out, and they set up a new studio for Armor 2 in Brno. And that was to handle all of the DLCs and expansions they did. And some
Right.
of them were really some excellent, like story added DLC that was really good. I really enjoyed it. And then that studio was a leader for Armor 3, which I wanted to play, but I was my console player, so I couldn't. And then they were allowed to make a spin-off which was called Project Argo. It was basically like elimination mode in Vigor, but made in the Armor engine. It was like their attempts to like an arena shooter, because Armor's
Okay.
obviously massive scale, really slow gameplays, but they tried to make an arena shooter. They didn't give it enough time, and they didn't put it on console. It didn't work. But when I heard that that studio was making another game, I was okay. I'm all in. And then I heard it was Petka that was leading the team, and I knew his previous work on the DLCs package. I was like, right, he's making a game on Xbox. They haven't done a game on Xbox forever. At this point, DayZ still hadn't come to console. So I just started emailing people, and then got Petka's email and kept harassing him basically, and was very lucky to be invited into one of the first it was the Xbox Insider invite test, so I think 0.3.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it was
wow.
like one map, like 3 hours, it's like set time. During these 3 hours we're going to play, and it was like, I think you had the Mosin and the Luger. That was it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no lootable containers. Just does it work? And
Yeah.
that lasted for about a week, every day doing a test, and then they made it available for people to just apply to join if you were an Xbox Insider, but you couldn't stream it or anything. Just like close NDA, and it worked. The game worked. There wasn't a lot of content there, but it worked. So yeah, I think it was me and Bobby. Where Bobby was on Twitch, and I was on Mixer. We were both streaming PUBG because that was the other game that was out at the time, and telling everybody, you've got to sign up to this Vigor game, sign up to it. And Petka just started coming into our streams and saying, "Oh, you'll be able to stream it soon," like winking faces and all this. And then they took it down out of the Xbox Insider and said it's now on Game Preview.
Oh wow.
I don't think I've ever bought a game faster.
Yeah, because it was what 20 Canadian or like
I think it was 19.99 everywhere. That's that kind of price.
Okay.
Which was where you got like some crowns and stuff when the game came out, and an outfit and all that, but it was the unlimited play. And then they did a dev stream within a week of it launching into Game Preview, and the community was already there. Like the passion from everybody it was insane to see. And that was it. You just hooked from that moment. It's like, okay, there's nothing like this. I know what the studio is capable of. I know it's going to start in a kind of janky state, but I know what they do. They support games long term.
Yep.
I know the people that are working on it and what they've done previously, so I know what they're good at. And yes, the real reason I stuck with Vigor is because of the people. It's not the game is great, but it's janky and I hate it sometimes. And sometimes I can't. I put it down and don't play it for a week, and I'm mad at it. But every time I do play it, I always have fun, and the community always rallies around. And
it's crazy that, like you mentioned, that there's nothing like it on console, like at the time, but like I'd still argue that there still isn't anything like it on console.
No.
Like there's literally nothing, because there's been like competition where it's like COD DMZ like came out with their own variant, and it's like I'm sorry, but it's
Yeah.
not the same thing.
DMZ could have been like Vigor, but they just fluffed it.
Yeah.
They didn't want to put the effort in. Hunt
They codified
Showdown
it. Yeah.
it is the closest thing, I think, Hunt Showdown, but it's cowboys, it's supernatural, it's got AI.
There's no looting
Very
to it.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't loot in that game.
Like I love Hunt. Like anyone who listens, like they know how much I love Hunt as well. But it doesn't have that looting aspect.
Yeah.
And it's like any time like I talk to someone, it's like that's the thing, is like there's no real competition, and it's like we have these big AAA studios that are like
I think
regurgitating games.
we're gonna get something
But,
with
like-
the Division Heartlands. I think we're gonna get something which a lot of Vigor players will look
Yeah.
at the Heartlands and go, "Yes, I'll have some of that."
Yeah, I like it's the next one, right? But like again, it's like Battlefield was supposedly coming out with one, and that flopped, and then DMZ, and it's like okay, who's
It's
next?
how
Like,
difficult
I
is it? Though?
know.
It's such a simple game mode to make. I can't. Well, this is what I mean. Though this is what I talk about. The Burno guys in particular and Bohemia is that they do try things that are out of the box. Like Armor isn't like any other game you'll play. It's difficult for reasons that it doesn't need to be. Like DayZ doesn't have a map. There's no tutorial. It's like you will die over and over again and hate the game. It's what they make. They make these sort of special games that get under your skin, and
It'll kick you in
nobody
the
else
crotch,
seems to
and
be
you'll
able to
just
do it.
come back for more, apparently. So,
There's so many people have tried to make a DayZ like game and failed, and it's not that complicated, really. And the same with Armor. So many people tried to make this a realistic tactical shooter. Squad are doing a good job, but other than that, there's not a lot of success. And it's something that Bohemia have got something special going on.
Yep.
It's a shame because I want to play more of these type of games. And I'm on console, so I can't play Escape from Tarkov. There's games on the mobile that are pretty good.
Again,
like what?
What's the one I've been playing at the moment? It's Brian Evans got me onto it.
Yeah, Arena Breakout.
Arena, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to play more of that myself.
Big clumsy thumbs, and I can't.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, I haven't tried
if they
that yet.
if they can get some controller support, like better controller support, because you can pair a Bluetooth like controller with your phone, but it doesn't have everything. It's not. It's a bit janky. But yeah, no, it is. It's that Escape from Tarkov kind of thing again. You know, like it's a looter. You lose anything you take in with you. And I actually even want to stream it a little bit. I just got to find a good way to connect my phone.
It looks okay and it plays okay as well. Yes, definitely worth a try if you don't mind the mobile gaming. I'm not really into the mobile stuff, but
I'm not
after
either,
watching some videos, I was like, I've got to play that game.
Yeah, Brian Evans, he had some good videos out, and it's like, oh, yeah, I'd never heard of this. What's this? And it's like, oh, I gotta check it out.
Yeah. I like Tarkov was like one of the first games I bought when I built my gaming PC, and like I love it. It's the reason why or how I found Vigor, because I wanted to find something like Tarkov on console, but like I don't have time for the learning curve. Like it's unfortunate, but like that's the only thing. And especially after each wipe, like I have in real life friends that like I got them onto Tarkov, and I was literally the last one to get it. But nonetheless, they'll play for maybe like 2-3 weeks after a wipe, and then they're done because like the hardcore grinding of like everyone else type thing.
That game was too stressful. Like I bought it too. Like I played it a bit, and that was one of the first games I wanted to stream for a bit, but at the time my PC just couldn't play it and stream at the same time, so it just never happened. And then that's how I Vigor. That's how I got into Vigor. I found out about it. I was like, this is exactly what I want. It's like that level of it has the looting. I get to build my shelter up. You know, it has that same. You're going to lose everything potentially when you go out, but it doesn't have the same level of stress. that Tarkov does.
Right. Yeah.
When you spend like
Ok-
2 hours working on a gun and you take it out and you lose it, it's like, okay, well,
Yes. I think that was
Yeah.
one of the smarter design decisions of Vigor, to not have an attachment system.
Yep.
And literally to the full extent of the word, you don't become attached to the gun. Like, this isn't your special gun. You've got 50 of them in the cupboard, sort of thing. Take
Yep.
it out, have fun with it, come back and get another one. And
Yep.
a lot of people have obviously asked for, I want to put a scope on it, I want to
Yeah.
put a grip on.
I was going to say that too. It's like it's funny that like you get so many requests like that, but then I'm like, you literally have different variants of various guns, and
Yes,
like
I was having this conversation in the official Discord today
Yeah.
about the new gun, which we've all seen the. I'm sure we've all seen the teased image of next season's gun. Which
I have not, but that's fine.
It's a silhouette they've put out.
Mm.
To most people that look at it, they will see M21 without a scope, which is an M14. But when I look at it, I see an SVT 40, the Russian sniper from the war. And we were just discussing that, wouldn't it be interesting to have those kind of guns rather than a variant of the same? And my argument was that people ask for attachments to guns. They ask, can I get a scoped? Well, now you've got a gun without an attachment and a gun with an attachment. Same gun. You've got the G3, you've got the SG1, and the MP5 is the small version of that. You've got the AUG Para, the AUG assault rifle, and then the H-bar, which is the big version. So you've got the gun with all the different versions of it, like attachments. So, I like the fact that they're adding in different versions of the same gun. I don't see it as a negative. There's lots of guns we could choose from. There's 69 weapons in Vigor. We don't need them. I would get rid of 20 weapons in an instant, quite easily.
Yep.
But one of the things you brought up then was wipes, talking about Tarkov.
Yep.
It's something I'd like to talk about with Vigor in regard to wipes. I know it's a very divisive subject, and every time I mention it, I am shouted down and no, kill the game. My argument is that the game isn't in a great state at the moment. We're going to be getting to the point shortly, inverted commas, where we have a new shelter upgrade and rework. I see that as a perfect opportunity to introduce a seasonal wipe. Even if it was an optional thing.
Right.
Yep.
Because the economy is so broken in Vigor.
Oh yeah.
The only way to fix it is to have a wipe. And I don't think you can hurt the player base enough than what it is being hurt already. With all of the benefits and the good stuff that we're going to get coming with the reworks. And we all got addicted to Vigor, right? That's why we play it. And when we started playing it, when we got addicted, we didn't have anything. That's why we liked it. And then we got stuff, and then we maybe got a bit bored and stopped playing it as much. So having that coming back thing every time, I think it really would help. But so many people hate me for suggesting it.
No, and I get it.
Yeah, I think you're right with the optional thing. I think it would have to be optional, because it's just at this point to introduce just like forced wipes. It would be, I think, a tough pill to swallow for some people, especially those who are super casual. I think it would hurt more than anything. But
we had come up with we'd mentioned that idea before, doing a similar thing that like some other games have, like the prestige system, where you could shoot like in
the prestige system is what I think we're going to get. That's what.
Yeah, that way it's like a wipe, right? And then you have like maybe a special,
you get a
whatever
cool shiny thing for doing it, and you can go, look, I've done it 4 times. Sorry, I've got. Yeah. What I would prefer is a system similar to ARPGs like Diablo or Path of Exile, a seasonal system like that, where there is a new progression system each season that doesn't take you very long to complete. You complete it in a season.
Oh yeah.
maybe there are certain buffs or bonuses around that. So maybe in one season, crafting times are cut in half. Maybe in
Right.
another season, you get a free booster every game. But to take part in that season, you start a new character, or you play with your normal character against everybody else. Everyone plays in the same pool, but you don't get the bonuses of the new season.
Right.
The problem with that is that I think every time I explain it, that nobody seems to understand everyone playing together. Some people playing that are doing the new season, and some people are playing that are keeping all their old stuff. But it works in ARPGs. It's just trying to flip that mindset to a third-person shooter.
Yep.
It's quite tricky.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But it's just the idea of having your loot, having to work for stuff again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, this is why I've been doing we call it the Honourable Challenge, where we say, either do what I do and delete stuff, or delete to a round number, like say you have no less than 100, or start a new account and just play afresh a little bit, because
Yeah.
it will remind you of why you like the game when you have those bad days. When you
Well,
manage to get somebody with the Tommy gun.
Oh, man.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing is like because of like the lack of shelter upgrades, it's like you see that transition where it used to be like more like a looter shooter survival, where it's almost turned into a battle royale because people have
Yeah.
nothing else to do, right?
Yeah.
So it's like loot is insignificant to a larger and larger portion of the player base once they complete their
They've
shelter.
tried to push it into challenges, haven't they? So a lot
Yeah.
of the challenges can be based around it, which is good, because
Yeah.
it does incentivize players to do that. But again, you need to have a good reward for it, and at the minute the rewards aren't there. The loot,
Yeah.
I think the loot amount in the game isn't enough. I think that's the biggest problem. I mean, I've completed my shelter 3 times,
Mhm.
and I'm on the last upgrade now. But the last grinding out of the chemicals, it's terrible. It's no fun gameplay in that. It's just like, ugh. And then when I do it, it's going to be like, finally, I've done it. Wow, what do I get for doing it? Nothing.
Yeah.
You've actually got
Yeah.
now. You've got nothing to do. I'm not going to start again. It's not happening. I've done it 3 times. I've started on the PlayStation since.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Well, and that's sort of my
But-
thing too, because that's how I started on the PlayStation. I also did on the Switch. I'm working on the Switch just because, once you get my Xbox, I finished it. There's like really no grind anymore other than the seasons and trying to do challenges. So at least on
You
the
can reset
PlayStation and the Switch,
your progress.
I know you can. I don't know if I
But
want
yeah,
to yet.
it's
but-
yeah. This is why once I've done it, got to this point, I've done it 3 times. I'm not doing it again. But every season, delete all weapons and all weapon parts, and then only allowed to craft weapons with parts. So I have to loot the parts to be able to craft weapons. And it
And that's
doesn't take
that's a good way to
doesn't
go.
take long.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long. 3 or 4 games, and you've got stuff. You have a bad day, go and play some elimination. Donate some food. Wait till next week. Open some crates. You'll get some free stuff. But the game is so generous, I think, to new players, or to everybody, really.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think that might be the problem, is that it's so generous to everybody.
Yep.
Because there's players that have got more than enough. They don't need anything else.
Mhm.
And there's players that have got nothing, and they need as much help as they can get. So
Yep.
I think it would be good if there was a way to maybe help them more. I don't know about skill-based matchmaking, but
No, I don't.
some way of maybe giving them better rewards.
Yep.
Right? If
Yeah.
a new player if you get a crate in your first 50 games, you get 2 instead of 1, for example. That kind of thing.
Not a bad idea. I don't mind
Mhm.
that. But like being, like you were saying, being generous is what drives me nuts. Is like you'll see streamers who literally like they don't care about survival rate. They'll go out, literally lose their whole inventory, delete every gun they want, and only keep like their favorite ones. Lose all their
Yeah.
weapons, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna play elims for the next 2 days just to get crates, and then get like what they want. It's like, but you're not sustainable. Like, this is not good. Like, It
Yeah.
drives me nuts.
Yeah, the fact that you can get resources from playing modes other than encounters drives me. It's one of the biggest mistakes, I think. I don't have a problem with
Yeah.
getting rewards for playing the other modes, but you shouldn't be able to level up your shelter unless you play encounters. That's my opinion, and I'm still going to stick with it. It's
Oh well,
that's
like
the mode.
the
Encounters is where it's at.
the shootout rewards when they used to give out like 600 chemicals in like a single crate.
Well, and the amount
Yeah,
of
that
XP
was
that you get because you get a gold
Yeah.
crate, so you get tons of XP as well.
yeah.
And meanwhile, you play encounters and you have the best game ever. Like it's really good fun, super tense. You've snuck around, like it's been really good, but you get killed and you end up with nothing. It's like,
Yep.
I only noticed this week that they've changed the XP amounts for looting. You used to get, for example, 100 XP for picking up an item, and then if you extracted it, you got another 100 XP. Whereas I think you get double, or you get less for picking it up, and you get more
There
for
was a-
extracting it.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a while. Like we have a
Yeah.
spreadsheet that kept track of it. I don't think it's changed.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have to
check
go
now.
through that
I've
again
not,
and check.
not noticed
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I had people telling me, "Oh, you can't use the same comm station more than once to get XP," and it's like, yeah, I've not noticed these changes in the game myself. So
I'm gonna have to check that out.
yeah,
I'm
That's
gonna have
the
to
thing,
check that out too. It's been a while
there's
since
a
I
lot of
tracked it.
sort
Yeah.
of. It's not fake news. It's just like people
Yeah.
aren't really sure.
Yeah.
'Cause the skill point system is one of those areas, but there's a reason for that. They can't tell us how the skill points are given out because then we just game the system and max our skill points out.
Right.
At the minute, there's a problem with the skill points leaderboards, and dashboarding is becoming a bit of an epidemic. I would say I notice it every time I play. People, I think in the past we just used to think, oh, they're disconnected, they've crashed
Right.
from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
lobby, but there's a lot. You don't lose. You keep everything. If you quit the game, you keep everything.
Right.
So if you load into a game and you see people that maybe you don't want to play against, you can just quit. Or you run around for a bit and somebody hits the comm station and you don't want to. I don't want to deal with that. Just quit. And it seems to be becoming more and more of a thing in the official Discord. You get a lot of the top clans in inverted commas talking about bragging about them on the leaderboard and how they like to use these tactics. Then it's just a shame that because as partners we're not supposed to promote stuff, right? So by talking about it, it's not the best thing. We shouldn't talk about people cheating because
No.
then people
Right.
will Google how do I cheat. But if we don't talk about it, then the developers don't realize how much of a problem it is. So the cheating problem in Vigor has been going on for a long time. I think it's always been a problem. People fair play, and they do a lot. It's just I think people expect too much. I just want a bit more communication from the devs on that sort of thing. We know as partners what they've done, but we're not allowed to talk about it. But if the devs came out and said what they'd done, then I think people would be more happy.
Until like a cheater posts on Reddit and Facebook saying that support did not help them with their negative crown crown issues and basically outed themselves as a crown glitcher.
Oh, that was so funny. It was so good.
Yep.
It was like a glorious week of people just outing themselves.
Yep. So they do stuff, but like you said, they're not going to publicly.
Yeah, it's a Bohemia company
Yeah.
thing. It's not necessarily Burno.
I'm almost wondering if it's like a libel issue, because like if you start saying someone's a cheater, blah blah blah, and public is saying like
I would
I don't know.
imagine there are legal reasons why they don't come out and say we've banned these people or this person has been found to be cheating. But you get companies that will come out and say we've banned 20,000 people in the last 6 months, something like that. Vigor could never say that because there wouldn't be any players left. But they could say we've taken action against people this many
Yeah.
times, or this system is working. We've had X amount of reports, and from those reports, we've been able to punish X amount of people. Just convincing people to use the report system, it seems to be pretty difficult from my end as a partner. People come to me with, "Oh, this person was doing this. This happened." The systems in the game use it. Report. Oh, it's not worth it. Nothing ever happens. It's like,
Yeah.
just because you don't see it happening doesn't mean that it's not happening. We know that Bohemia move really slowly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just
But it is true though, the reporting system does work. Is just if they're not using it, because they have mentioned like the more someone gets reported, the more they will like look into that said person type thing.
exactly
So
that. Yeah.
that's why you still have to do it.
I mean, yeah, I've had communications about people that have been reported, like almost like a mass reporting. They've been playing and streaming, and people have been getting into their game, and obviously there's something's going on, and they get flagged, and the developers can see pretty much everything, all of
Yep.
your analytics, what you're doing, what your button inputs are, what the game is registering, so they can see it all. It's the biggest problem with Vigors, I think, is the end user legal agreement, and
Mhm.
I question whether or not they have the ability to ban anybody. Like, delete all your stuff, your stash. That's happened. We know that happened in the past. So, yep, that can
Yep.
happen. Put you on negative crowns if they think you've been glitching. That's definitely happened. But actually stop you from logging in and playing the game, I'm not so sure
No.
they have the ability to do that with the current. When you start the game, you don't agree to any terms.
No.
I mean, there
Right.
is the implied agreeing to the terms and the conditions by playing the game, but
Yep.
when I play FIFA or when I play Hell Let Loose, I've got to scroll down for about 20 minutes, then click A on the bottom without reading it, because I'm not reading all that.
Yeah.
But you've got to do that to agree, and there never was anything like that in Vigor. And I think that has been a problem for them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's very generic on their website. Like you look at it, it's pretty like plain Jane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing too specific or anything like that.
I
So it
don't think
doesn't.
they ever intended it. I didn't intend it to have to be as a success as it was. I don't think. It's really, Vigor's intent was a tech idea so that they could learn how to develop on consoles, and then when they built their own engine, Infusion engine, which they're going to use for armor going forward. If you look at the way that engine's built, it's built like Unreal Engine 4. They that was really what Vigor was for. The idea was to learn about console development before DayZ came out, get into the whole update process going forward, work towards getting crossplay, because Armor 4 is reliant on being all crossplay. So it's been following that path, but in that time, it's 5 years. It's taken on its own life.
Yep.
And they're having to support it. I don't think Burno Studio get enough support from the Bohemia higher ups. They will tell you otherwise. They will always say that they're not going to criticize their bosses.
Yeah, for sure.
We know that David Kulka, who was the project lead that took over from Petka, he was there for the longest time. Like, obviously, pre-development took a long while, but post-launch, he was there for the longest, and he's now moved up to be an executive within Bohemia. So he obviously did an excellent job within their eyes. If we look at the state of the game and the development of the game over that period, I would disagree. But we are where we are. And I just don't think they support it enough. They should be throwing money at Vigor. It's on consoles, on all these platforms. It's got all these microtransactions. It could make lots of money if it had lots of players.
Yep.
Just do things faster.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do. Just do things faster. And it means more people. And that's always the problem with these smaller studios. But
Yeah.
we love
you
them
look
anyway.
at you look at the issue with the LMGs. Like I don't think it's as bad as before, because I think people have been tired of it, and just they
Yes,
stopped playing LMGs as much, because like I don't see like full lobbies. I'll see the occasional
No.
one, but
players are
like
self-policing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate it's come to that point, but it would have been nice to like kind of nip it in the butt a lot earlier. But like it's been meta kind of for like a year and a half now, close to
It's
2 years.
it's the strange decisions though were made. So there was a weapon rework happening because originally when the weapons were made, the guy that made them had never made weapons before for a game. Incidentally, the game that guy works on now is he went on to work on a farming simulator game. The guy that made the original Vigor gunplay,
Right.
and they reworked that in early access, and then I want to say about 2 years ago now, Sweet Tsunami, Alex started working with other people on reworking the guns and changing parameters, making them more realistic recoil animations, all that stuff. And it was really good work. He did the shotguns, the bolt actions, the
Yep.
ordinary rifles. It was really good. And then they did the LMGs.
Yep.
And when they finished the LMGs, they said, right, we can do a lot more. We're going to take our time and do a whole rework over everything.
Yep.
But the LMGs just got the buff to be like the best gun for a season. We all thought, well, just one season, then it's going to be the assault rifles or the SMGs.
Yep.
And yeah, we've waited, what, 18 months maybe?
Yeah.
Since then, and we're still with all of the guns in exactly the same state as that. When it could have been very easy to say, okay, everyone complains about people getting lucky shots with machine guns. Well, let's just remove the body and headshot multipliers. Let's just nerf the gun. Nerf it into the ground so that nobody uses it for 6 months. We fix it, and then people stop complaining. Instead, it's been like, oh, wait, we're doing something. It's coming. Got something great. It's all coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're not can't show you yet, but it's coming.
Yeah. We got a big
And
work.
that's
We
been,
work. Yeah.
that's gone on for too long.
Mhm.
What they've got coming, I'm sure, is great. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Because I know that the time and effort is really being put into it. And since the release of Armor Reforger, they've had some of the devs from there come across and work. So there is some
Oh, nice.
some long time knowledge on guns
Right.
and gunplay going into it. But just nerf the thing that people hate.
Yep.
Add in of jump shots.
Oh,
Everyone-
these jump shots. Oh.
Everyone hates it. Nobody likes it, apart from
Yeah.
about 4 streamers that absolutely love it, and it's the reason they play the game. But it's a simple thing, isn't it? There's so many polls have been out there. Just stop people being able to add a 1 second delay when you jump. So I can still fall off a building and shoot after a second,
Yeah.
but I can't spam jump and shoot.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there.
Yep.
It's painful how long it's taken, but we are gonna get there. I'm
Yes.
really confident. I just hope they're brave and really go hard with the like.
Yep.
Wouldn't say realism, but more realistic features like
Yep.
the movement is wacky. It's part of the game, but it's wacky in Vigor.
Yep.
The stamina system, I can jump infinitely. That should never be a thing.
But like I gotta echo the sentiment that like what I hear when I do talk to the devs about like the weapon rework, and like it's not just a weapon rework at this point. They've kind of like alluded to it in the last like year and whatnot in the dev streams. Like it's more than just the weapons, and honestly, like I'm excited for it. Is like I want it to come because it's like I just want it to be more realistic. Like have momentum, or like weight carry more significance and all that stuff. And it's like
I mean,
I'm
DayZ has
confident.
got a really good system for movement and weight and inertia and all of that. Vigor tried to add inertia in, I want to say, season 2 or 3. And everyone went, oh, what have you done? You've slowed the game down too much. And so they didn't actually change anything other than they sped up the animation. So the character remained the same speed, but the
Yep.
animation was like either sped
Right.
up or slowed down, one of the two. And then they added all these buffs to movement and caffeine and adrenaline and all these things, and nothing to counter it. I think that was the problem. They went too far one way, and now everybody that likes that high speed running, jumping gameplay is in heaven because they love all that. But I think most people, from my experience, most people feedback they don't like that kind of gameplay. That's not why they started playing Vigor, and it's one of the reasons why they stopped playing Vigor. It's because of the gameplay silly.
Mm-hmm.
But they've listened. I'm almost certain that we're going to get it. I'm hopeful that it's really slow. But I don't think they go as slow as I want, because I would go full out as we used to be. You out of breath.
Right.
Oh wow. Who's this that's come to join us?
Oh yeah, Miss Angelina. She like, so whenever she feels like, she's like, okay, time for a cuddle, and here she is.
I'm with you, Smokey. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, but like,
I mean, I think one of the things that took me by surprise was during the recap. I mean, I've been moaning to the devs quite a lot. Show, don't tell. Show me something. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me something. And they haven't shown us anything as of yet, other than a picture of the new map, which was quite interesting. Hedge maze. Gave me the Shining vibe. But what they'd said, what Moof had said about the weapon rework and how it's coming along and la 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 la. Melee rework as part of the next update. I don't think anybody was expecting there to be any touching on the melee, and so that's come out of the blue. That will be a good indication of how much of a rework we're looking at. If we see the melee rework and it is a real substantial rework, maybe there's different damages, maybe there's different animations, then that will reassure a lot of people of how the gunplay is going to change. If the melee rework comes out and it's not really anything, doesn't really change anything, then it's going to be bad news. But
right. Yeah, I didn't even realize that they were coming up with something.
Yeah, the end of year recap. Moof dropped a few.
I need to watch that. I really do.
He dropped a few bangers in that one, to be fair. He's been with the team since before the Vigor. Moof, the project lead now. I want to say Philippe, who's marketing manager, was also around at the beginning, and so was Priet. And there's two other devs, like coders, that were there when the game was in preview.
Right.
So there's not a lot that were around back then. But the people that are there,
changed a lot.
I think they brought in a lot of really good people. They got a lot of criticism for adding the animations when you shelter upgrades. I think it's amazing. Why are you wasting time doing this? Well, because now there's somebody that can do animations. Think about what else they could do. So they've learned how to animate. Now they might be able to do something else.
Because it's someone else who's not working on the weapon rework. They don't work on weapon rework stuff.
Right.
Exactly that.
And I guess if you're not in the industry or have much insight into it, you don't understand that these different things require different skills. So you have the guy working on animations. He doesn't necessarily have the skills for working on, the physics of the weapon.
He doesn't know how to code the weapon. He doesn't know what the ballistic capabilities of the guns are. He doesn't.
Right. So there's a lot of different skills required to do the different jobs, and so it doesn't all translate.
And when you mention how like the team has changed over since the beginning, like that has certainly pushed the timeline for the weapon rework as well, right? Because
absolutely.
Changing in staff and whatnot, like staff turnover, unfortunately.
It's an unfortunate part of the world, but gaming development especially, I think. Or any tech-based development, it seems the turnover rate is because of burnout more than anything is super high. I I know that Bohemia with Brno have always it's a university there. There's a lot of
Mhm.
game dev students come through Brno, the gaming city really. So there may be some turnover because of that. People moving on to other things. I know when Petka left to set Ashbourne games up, he took people with him, obviously. But I think the people they've got there now are some of the most talented they've had working on them for a while.
Yep.
Because they've been able to stay the course, and it's good to see them. There's so much upward mobility within that company. To see someone like Priya, who started out as a YouTuber and a content creator like us,
Mhm.
became a community manager, first job in gaming. During that, studied and is now a producer.
Yep.
Like, and that's. I feel like it's like part of a family. That kind of connection with the people that make the game, rather than what I'm saying. Sometimes I hate the game, but I love the people.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really heartwarming that you get to see that and to grow over like that time. I feel privileged to be 5 years a partner and looking in from the outside. We get a little bit of extra knowledge here and there, but we don't get a lot more than most people.
I think there's subtle hints, even like that regular Outlanders can take from like what they post. If you could like kind of interpret like and read between the lines type thing, right? Because especially like with the weapon rework, right? They kind of drop hints, after a little bit saying like it wasn't just a weapon rework. But
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people picked up on that. So
Yeah, they've had to literally be explicit and say it's going to cover stamina and weight, and different weapons will behave
Yeah.
like you would expect in other games. Call of Duty is the obvious example because everyone understands Call of Duty. You've got a small gun, you run fast, and if you've got a big gun,
Yep.
it's as simple as that. You
Right.
shouldn't be able to run around like a crazy person with a massive machine gun.
No.
But if you've got a pistol or an SMG, then yeah, maybe you should be able to do that and jump. And if you jumping and shooting is a thing, it's going to be more effective with smaller guns.
Right.
and that's
sure.
the thing. It's like even to this day, like no one really knows what we're gonna see in the rework. Like, we could guess that's what it's going to be, but we still
It gives
don't
me
know.
such anxiety because I trust the people that are doing it.
Yeah.
Because I know some of the ones that have moved across to the team after, because Sweet Tsunami left back in September, left the team to do other things, and obviously he was a big part of the weapon rework, so that to replace him, and they've got some good people, experienced people doing that, so I trust them, but I've not seen it and I've not tasted it yet, and we all know that Vigor can sometimes put an update out and then it just needs to be like fixed a little bit later on.
Yep.
We'll finish that off a little bit later. So I'm very anxious about it when I think about it. It's like I just want to see it. Just want to show me a video of the devs playing it.
Yep.
Sort of thing. Let me see how has it changed.
Yep.
Sort of thing.
Like we've never been told if we're going to like get any like preview of like the weapon rework either, aside from the regular like preview build whenever that's going to come out. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I would love to be like part of the play test or something like that.
I've been trying to push them. I've been trying to push them to. I pushed them to allow everybody to play the public test. I know that it's only available on Xbox, so PlayStation can't have it. That's a shame.
Right.
But it's the same for DayZ and it's the same for Armor. Armor Reforger has got a preview. DayZ's got a preview that you can download. They put it up a month beforehand, maybe 2 months. Get feedback, come back with it a couple of weeks later. What do you think? And then most of the air updates are well received because of it. And it baffles me that Vigor don't do it. They say there's technical issues with it, and there are some technical issues with getting access to the preview build.
Yep.
But like anything, if you were motivated enough to do it, you could fix it. They could solve it if they wanted to. I just don't think they have enough staff to quality control and test enough. And we as partners only get to play for a week, maybe 2.
Yep.
Maybe we get to look at it for 2 weeks and we can talk about it for a week.
Yep.
But by then, it's like the update's been finalized. When it originally came out, it was Pekka saying, "We got this new gun that's kind of broken at the minute, but what do you think about it? Test it out. Let us know." Okay, that gun's no good. We'll come back to that later on. That was the M14 fully auto, but it was scoped back in the day. Yeah, so that's how it was originally used, and there's been leaks. Some partners have had access when they shouldn't have had access and shared stuff. People that were terminated from the partnership, their access wasn't terminated, and they shared things they shouldn't have done. And it kind of ruined it for everybody.
Right.
But we get it a week before, and then I've actually getting into the habit now of doing the preview, literally a first look live. Because in the past, I've gone in, had a little look around, see what's inside, what we got here, and give some feedback, and then do a stream, knowing what to talk about. Whereas, I think it's been kind of good to do them as a first look, so I can be as surprised or disappointed as everybody else.
Right.
It's been difficult. The last few seasons, there's not been a lot, not for us. Yeah, we've got great new features, but the gameplay has remained the same, and that's really been the sticking point, I think, for a lot of people. For me, especially, I can't play the game for 3, 4, or 5 hours anymore. I used to do 8, 9 hour streams of Vigor, but 2, 3 hours, and I've had my full, I've had fun, and that's enough, and I can put it down and come back to it in a couple of days. And
Yeah.
but I used to be out of bang at it all day long, and can't do that. It's just nothing there for us. We got a new map coming this season. Probably going to be shootout. Could be elimination, but it's probably going to be shootout.
Yep.
Got a melee rework. Supposedly a weapon rework will come. 19 maybe. If it doesn't come in season 19, I'm going to be really upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then if we're very lucky, we might get this shelter rework this year. I would anticipate probably beginning of next year. But that will be coming with a new map as well, won't it? Because we get a new map every year.
Yep.
So yeah, it's good content. There's not, what other game has been out 5 years that still gets updates like this and weapon reworks and whole system overhauls? I mean, I've still played Division 2. That came out at the same time. That game's it's actually got a good bounty system at the moment, but it's not had any meaningful content for a very long time.
Oh, okay.
That's Ubisoft.
Yep. Big studio.
Yeah. That's a big studio. Yeah.
What else are you playing? Because you are an enlisted partner, I believe, still.
Yes, I am. I don't play enlisted as much. That's another game that's gone down the pay to win thing. That's unfortunate. But mostly at the moment, I'm playing Armor Reforger, which is made in the same building as Vigor. So I'm supporting that as much as I can. The Armor partnership is a weird place, so I'm not so sure I'm going to go down that route because yeah, I think DJ say that the Vigor partnership is a bit of a strange place, but yeah, the Armor one, there's been the guys that have been in there for like 15, 20 years. So yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a bit strange. But I think they're doing great work on that engine. That's going to be coming to PlayStation 5 soon. It's probably going to be in the Games Pass, so available to play on the cloud, so you can play on Xbox One.
Nice.
And yeah, it's like a platform. It's like a mod-supported military simulator, and it's really what got me into gaming in the first place, like online gaming.
Right.
Yep.
And that and Hell Let Loose at the minute. Hell Let Loose has been a real favourite of mine since it's come to Games Pass, and there's lots more people playing it. I'd definitely recommend that game. If you've got Xbox and you've got Games Pass, give it a download. Don't treat it like a traditional shooting game. Treat it like a survival game. Like, I think my longest time staying alive is 6 minutes 9 seconds, something like that. Yep, you will get PTSD after playing it with like dismemberment and all of that. It's very immersive. Before Christmas, I bought myself a racing setup. So
oh, nice.
A set of Corsa may have taken over a big part of my life. But I try not to talk about it too much. It's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, trying to find more time for Vigor, trying to figure out things to do to bring the spark back.
Right.
We used to try and have tournaments and events, but yeah, without there being real money prizes, people don't want to play.
Yeah.
And the problem with competitive Vigor is the balance of the game isn't there for competitiveness. And
Yep.
elimination is pay to win, so you can't really even take it there.
And just for clarification for our listeners, Smokey's talking about Vigor Rivals, which we did talk about with Christopher Beast way
glad
back
we-
when.
Did you guys ever take part in any of the Rivals events?
I've always wanted to, and I've never actually
No.
done it.
Because if you've got access to the Discord, which I can send you access over.
Yep.
It's set up in such a way that anybody can hold their own event. There's like 4 or 5 set rule sets for events. There's like the hunt, which is play 5 games. How many kills can you get? Simple. There's a loot event where you get more points for loot. If you get one of each type of loot, you get a bonus point. Things like that. There's a lot of different preset modes, if you would. And anybody can go in there and put at here. I'm going to host one of these events, involve viewers, share it around. It was set up as that sort of freeform ego. Here's the framework for it. Now go and have fun with it.
Mhm.
But I think people always want someone to host it. They always want
Right.
someone to be doing it's difficult to host it and then do the calculations for people's scores.
Yep.
So yeah, you got screenshots coming in because it's always especially now with the new end of round screenshots, so much easier. Take a screenshot of that. It shows you how many kills you got. It shows me how many XP you got. It's easy to work out your score. Originally, we had a guy develop a bot that would be able to. You take the screenshot and upload it to Xbox Live, and then the bot would be able to read your screenshot, so to speak.
Oh, nice.
Like recognize what the symbol was for kills and if you got a crate, and then automatically update the Discord. And then they changed the UI, so it was all that. He worked on it for months and months as well. Felt awful. And worked on it. And there's a piece of code that he asked the devs for that would allow you to track stats, but they were reluctant to give that, which is strange because they allow it in Armor and DayZ. You can set up a Discord in DayZ that will show you how many kills you've got, what weapon you were using, when you shot.
Oh, like an API. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually
Exactly.
asking for that.
Yeah.
I was asking for that for like the New Year's wish list, or I forget what. But yeah.
It may be possible to get it from the current Vigor team if you had good enough reason for doing it. The problem was the guy that was designing the bot was from Brazil. So there was language issues with me and him communicating, and then it was me communicating to a dev what this guy wanted third party, and it wasn't very easy. And the devs were reluctant. That dev was reluctant to talk to the person directly. But it's different team, different people, and I know that their Philippe marketing is very keen to think of innovative ways to market the game a bit more. They've got lots of code and stuff to give away. It wouldn't cost them money to host anything.
Other than gaming, I know that you're a musician. But do you have any other hobbies other than music and gaming?
Well, currently I'm studying. I'm doing my healthcare level 3, so I'm qualified as a healthcare support worker.
Nice.
But I'm doing the level 3 training to eventually unlock occupational therapy. That's something that I've been trying to get into for a while. 18-month apprenticeship. At 42, I'm 42 and I'm doing an apprenticeship. Never thought it would happen, but here we go. It's an amazing opportunity. But I'm working within the National Health Service, the NHS, with nurses in the community. So it's an amazing job. Working within my own community, supporting people, keeping them out of hospital, people that don't need to be in hospital.
Yep.
but it's time consuming, stressful, and it's a lot of work. So I've not had as much time for anything really. But yeah, music and streaming, mostly Vigor. To be fair, I've like I said, there's a few of the other games, but I get the most enjoyment out of streaming Vigor because the people it's the people that are there that comes that make it what it is. The game would be nothing without the community. We wouldn't be sat here talking to you if it wasn't for all the community out there playing and interacting. And I love it's like a wave that washes in of all these new people that come every so many months. We get a new season and new group of people that have never seen the game that I've been playing for 5 years. And how have you not seen this? Like, try it. People that play this game either absolutely hate it after 5 minutes or they're addicted to it and they play it for 5 years. And it's wonderful to see, and it's been great to watch it grow. The whole community is in a bad state in the minute, like a family having an argument. It always happens, but we always come back together, and there's always something new just around the corner with Vigor.
Yep, for sure.
And I do have to add, I've always appreciated your live concerts on stream. It's always good. Like obviously, I'm not able to like watch Twitch now that I'm more at the office than not. But like I've always appreciated having it in the background and like listening to kind of put on a little brief concert for us.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind. It's kind of you to say. It started out as a coping mechanism because games make us angry, and so it started off as take 5 minutes. I need to take 5 minutes here. Let's play a song, and then it became a request that people wanted to redeem points to get it, and then and I've been playing guitar since I was like 13, so it's something I've always done. I've always been in bands, so we try to make more of it out of as we can, but I like to do it while I'm in the Vigor category. But sometimes you get people come in and go, "Oh, you should be in like music or just chatting or something," and I feel bad because I should be really. I'm sorry, I don't. But it's sort of a Vigor thing. People know me from it. Come and if you don't like it, it's fine. There's plenty of other really cool people out there to go and watch. But I was impressed by because they did the 12 Days of Christmas this year. I did it many years ago. I did a version of it for them, and they rewrote their own one this year, which I thought was very good. I like that they've got that sense of humor about them now. I don't know if you've seen the pronunciation video that they've got, the way they did it very dry. I like that a lot. Fasifia I don't think she gets as much credit as she deserves. Sometimes we don't always see eye to eye on decisions that are made and things that are said, but she's got one of the hardest jobs there is to communicate with the Vigor community. It's like this, it's dangerous out there. I think she does an amazing job, and I think she's starting to get a bit of a sense of humor about herself as well, and a bit of I like that. I like to see that. It's good to watching people coming in and go, because I remember when she first joined the team, kind of nervous and in the background, and everyone was very much Priya is like our goddess. She's like being the community manager since the beginning. She built all of this, but Fasifia has taken it forward in her own way, and it's good to see. And now we've got Taylor there as well, and there's a lot of personality on the team.
And
what other games do you know about? What other games do you play and you know the developers? You feel like I know what they're like, what their personalities are like. I know that it's good to be part of.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have their their regular streams, which are really nice, and you get to meet the various people working on the team. Because when you see other bigger games, when they have like their community streams, it's like you don't know who these people are. It's and it doesn't have that same level of intimacy, I guess you could say, right? You don't feel it.
You don't feel part of it. It's like a family. That's what I feel. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like like I'll watch other dev streams, but it's like Hunt has like gameplay streams, but it's community managers, and
Yeah.
so it's like you just get like the basic answers. It's like, this is what the roadmap is for this year. So like, you're not going to get in-depth answers. Like they'll do the occasional actual dev stream where like developers are on, but it's like maybe once every 3 months or something like that. But like with Vigor, you can get an actual like not just a community manager, like a developer working on the weapon rework, let's say, on there. And like I remember back like over a year ago, Johanny was on there and he was talking about the vaulting, and they actually showed screenshots of like the path that an Outlander was taken prior to the update and after. Like it's not often you're going to get that, especially like every 2 weeks. Uh, it
Yeah,
is
it's
very different,
insane.
and it is great. I really appreciate that about like the Vigor dev streams, because truly like you can get like ask developer questions, and honestly I find they're even more open than what they used to be, because at times it used to be like, you would just get like a regular or standard response, but now it's like
Yeah.
sometimes you'll even get like technical answers, and it's like that just gets me excited, because like
Yeah,
talk
very much
talk
so.
code to me or something like that, or talk to me about like
Mhm.
data and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
It
like
all
they've
gets me
become
excited.
more confident in what they're doing in their own work.
Yeah.
Like they're more confident to say, yeah, this is what we're doing and this is our vision. Whereas I
Yeah.
think in the past there's a lot of what do you want us to do? And then we do what you want us to do to make you happy, and then they do lots of different things that conflict. Whereas now they've got an idea of this is what we're going to do, this is our direction, and it takes a long time, but yeah,
Yeah.
from what they've done, they've proved that they're heading in the right direction, just a little bit slowly, but they're heading the right way.
Yeah.
I think the skill rating system is a great indication of where we might be going in terms of shelter, and maybe a competitive kind of element there, and sort of end game, if you will. You've got a seasonal reward, it's kind of an end game activity. You've got a weekly, monthly skill rating. You can judge how you're doing. That's a kind of a
Yeah.
end game activity. Just need to be able to reset my shelter and progress it again with some benefit.
Yeah. Certainly.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Uh,
Okay, well, I think that's a that was a
yeah.
great conversation, and we really
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on. Um, and hopefully
Yeah.
it's not too late for you here that you're falling asleep
Yes,
as we're going.
it's getting to fall. I've dosed up on coffee. I took a little nap earlier on. Actually, I wanted to
Oh, good.
make sure I was still wide awake. But yeah, I
Yeah.
probably rambled quite a bit as it is nearly 4 in the morning.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
really appreciate it, or
we do
we really appreciate it,
for sure.
because we do appreciate how late it is. But thank you so much, Smokey. And honestly, you mentioned the preview builds. By the way, we've used your stuff obviously for like our earlier preview um, stuff.
Awesome. Yeah.
But we always gave you
That's why I do it
credit.
without the overlays, so that
Yeah.
people can use it. That's
Yeah.
what it's for.
We do
So
appreciate it. We
thank you
always
so
make sure
much.
we give credit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication to the Vigor and the community.
Well, thank you for guys for doing these podcasts. I mean, it is an honor to be invited on. You've been 79 now, so you've been going
Yes.
as almost as long as the dev streams. I do
Yeah.
recommend anybody to go back and watch the early dev streams. Watch the first 1 to 3, and then 10, 15, and jump to 20. Just to see the progression and where we've come from.
Yeah.
Because
See the
sometimes we get
difference.
hung up on where the game is now, and it's not where I want it to be. But
Yeah.
where it's come from to where we are
Mhm.
now, it's a long way. But yes, it's
There's
an
been
honor
a
to be
lot
in.
of change. Yeah, there's been a lot of change, and you can see it does take a while, right? And then something will it's like a jump, and then something will happen, and
Yeah,
then it takes a while, and it's easy to miss all that when you're in the game every day, and then you're thinking nothing's happening, but really there's lots happening in the background. It's just you don't see it,
exactly.
right? So
And you
for
guys
sure.
keep doing what you're doing, because podcast is getting people out there. People are watching. People are liking it. They're telling me about it. When are you going to be on the podcast? They're asking me, and now I can finally tell them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a
absolutely.
great pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you again. We do appreciate it. But yeah, this has been a great one. Episode 79. We're getting up there. Not too long, we'll be at the big 100. So we'll look for something special when that happens. Not sure what yet, but we're getting there. But again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment below. We do appreciate it. We always look for them. And I'm Dr. Anton,
I'm DJ Spencer.
and we just
I'm
been
Smokey
talking
Dopey.
with Smokey Dopey. Yes, absolutely. Everybody, stay safe in the Outlands and have a great evening.
Bye.
I've heard you say you lost your way again. You don't see your reflection. Just look around and find at least something good. All you need will come to you. I'll never end you still. Take whatever you want, so just get home. I know you'll find your way. No need to go the same. Grab your chance and flame up your dream. I know you'll find your way. You must be calm anyway. Grab your chance and flame up your dream. Flame up your dream. It's time to leave the place where you are forced to fade away. You barely breathe, heart is breaking in the chest. I'll make you feel that it's not real. Your thoughts because of which you barely live. I'll never refuse you. Take whatever you want, so just get a hold. I know you'll find your way. No need to go the same. Grab your chance and flame up your dream. I know you'll find your way. You must be calm anyway. Grab your chance and flame up your dream. Flame up your dream. I know you'll find your way. No need to go the same. Grab your chance and flame up your dream. I know you'll find your way. You must be calm anyway. Grab your chance and flame flame up your dream, flame up your